Okay, had a good lunch? Feeling sleepy? Don't like. No, just kidding. Yes. Moving on from contraception, somebody was asking me, what about cases of rape and people are conceived as a consequence of rape. So does God intend the birth of that child in the rape? Isn't it okay to abort in cases of rape and stuff like that? So that's why it's always good to know how a child is created, right? Man, woman, sperm, ova, embryo, God. Soul or spirit, it's the same thing. Okay. Now, who causes who in sense of the child's creation? God first or parents first? I mean, who makes the first move in your creation? Did God make the first move or parents make the first move? Did God do something based on parents' actions, or did parents do something and God did something else? Who's the first mover?
Equal.
No, it's not equal.
The choice is given to the parents.
Yeah. It's like I said, if there's a sex strike, God can do nothing. Are you with me? Yeah? So,
It's a gift of free will.
correct. But out of my free will, I'm the one who moves. When I say yes, I do. I exercise free will to accept the woman I marry as, hey, this is my wife. With who? Sure. I will unite sexually, but with who I will procreate. I'll bring forth children. Okay? So, it's a man and woman's sexual act that releases this sperm and makes it possible for it to touch the ova and for the embryo to come in place. Now, doesn't matter you're married, unmarried, rape, no rape, premarital sex, abuse, prostitution, doesn't matter. If the sperm meets the ova, embryo comes in place. What will God do? Hello? What will God do? Send the soul. He can't help it. Yeah? So, does God intend for a person to be born out of rape? No. Are you with me? What's God's intention? God's intention is two people will fall in love. Not necessarily. Arranged marriage are fine also. Yeah? Two people will fall in love. They'll court. They'll honorably get married in the church. Love one another. Out of this love, a child will be born. And the child born will have a surname. Yeah? Raised in a family. That's God's intention. But just like human beings do not obey any of God's plans, we don't honor the members of the opposite sex, and yeah, men rape women also. And here is where I just want to remind all of us men here, we are responsible in this world for some really serious things. The first thing is, it's men who are responsible for pornography. Yes or no? We watch more than women. Yeah, it's a uniquely a man's thing. Men are responsible for domestic violence. Yeah, you rarely find women beating up their husbands. Usually the guy who gets drunk and beat up their wives and children. Okay, domestic violence. Third is, it's men who are more responsible for abortions than women. Guess why? When a man says no to a woman, even if she's the one offering him sex, can a woman rape a man? Nah. Okay? So, as far as sex is concerned, men are in leadership roles here. Headship, being a shepherd over their wives, over women. Okay? Sin seriously affects man's ability to be a man and a brother in the world. Okay? So, in case of a rape, it's uniquely a man's sin. Okay? It's a man's sin against a woman. And the sin here is, without marriage, forcing her, he violates her, and the act results in a sperm meeting an ova, and a conception happens, an embryo is conceived and comes into existence. God cannot just sit quietly in heaven and do nothing about it. Okay? He has to send a soul, and the sending of the soul is what makes this human being What makes this person a human being? Imagine God says, I will send a soul only if you are legitimately married. Otherwise, I will never send a soul. We'll have lots of animals in human form in this world. So it's good that God sends a soul and creates a human being, even though that's a rape. But does God intend it? Answer is no. That's never God's plan. It's a consequence of human sin. But once this happens, in a way, God can't stop it. Are you with me? Is that answer clear? In cases of rape, brother, who asked me, yeah, you're okay with it? So that's the basic sense.
I come from a background where we need to study all these things even on a professional basis. So there's this huge issue on contraception and rape and children born out of such situations. The truth about it is research has done it scientifically, secular research, not just Christian research. Such pregnancies are extremely rare, where a man has raped a woman and a child is born, unless the rape has been over a period of time, years together, where the lady has been forced into sex, okay, in such kind of situation. But the one-off thing that you see is just what the media is portraying, on which basis movies are made. It's really fictitious, okay? Because the ova can only be released when the lady is relaxed, when the woman is relaxed. That's why infertility is also on the rise. Because half the women are so tense that they want to get pregnant, but they are so tense that they don't get pregnant. So such doctors will tell them, calm down, calm down, calm down. So you need that peace of mind. 100% there's going to be no peace of mind when you're being raped. Okay, so that chance of releasing an ova is rare. Alright, during that sexual act or whatever. So such pregnancies are very rare. You should not be carried away by all these things that are blown up by the media, and really try to lead a good Catholic life the way the Lord wants us to lead.
Right, and you have to know something about the media. The media is generally run by people who hate the Catholic Church. Heads of newspapers, CNN, BBC, India, Times Now, NDTV, you name it. Most people hate the church because the church probably is the only voice in the world that says this is sin, don't do it. That kind of breaks your heart. It's something like this. Suppose you have a prayer meeting and you say 4 o'clock sharp we start the prayer meeting, and all of you come late. Except one boy who faithfully is there at 4 o'clock. All of you will hate him, right? Why? His very presence at 4 o'clock is a judgment on your sin of coming late. He makes you feel bad. Do away with him. Yeah? That's why we make fun of people. Because mostly they are doing right and you are not, and their very presence is a judgment on you and you sinning. Are you with me? So the same way, the Catholic Church in the world is the only one that calls sin a sin. Homosexuality, sin. People don't want to hear that. Abortion, sin. No. Doctors make money out of it. Okay. So any chance that comes which looks like the church is in the wrong, so people just have a field day. And the case in Ireland is simple. Poor thing, that doctor deserved to live, and they should have done away with that embryo and saved this lady's life. That's the fault of a hospital. It's a medical negligence, and they blame the Irish laws. Maybe the Irish laws even needs to change if this is really true. But definitely, what happened is not what the church teaches. Are you okay with it? Okay. So I'm kind of running out of time. So what I'm going to do now is I want to give a talk on single life and relationships. With that, we'll come to a close today. Coming Sunday, I'll talk to you in terms of holiness, handling thoughts, imaginations, media, masturbation, overcoming sin, that whole realm of it. Okay, I need about 2 to 3 sessions to cover that. So I'm not doing that. So please make sure you come on Sunday. Otherwise, if you come only today and not the next Sunday, it's all going to be half baked down. Are you with me? You won't get the full thing. Another thing is, my wife and I are in Chennai.